It is the RIOT Podcast. This is the Wednesday, July 12th edition. And for the podcast today, we're going to start out by letting you know of a new nifty little feature we've added to the RadioU app, which if you don't have, you definitely should have the RadioU app. First of all, it's free. You can get it on your iPhone or Android.
Real convenient.
Yeah, it is convenient because you can just not only pop up this podcast right through there, you can also, there's a million things you can do, but let me tell you the new thing you can do, and that is you can talk to us on the show. We have a lot of people that leave comments. They'll text the show at 877-2RadioU, but now you can leave us a voice message on the front page of the RadioU app, which again, free. There's a button that says talk to us. You press that. It allows you to record a message. You can share some feedback on the show. Give us ideas for segments. Tell us why we're wrong about something. I don't know why you would need to do that. We're never wrong, but maybe that's a possibility if one day that happens to come up. And the great news is, even though it says talk to us, you don't actually have to. Because a lot of people, we've talked about this recently, don't like talking on the phone. You don't actually have to talk on the phone. It's just a recording.
Yeah.
There's not even a recording.
We're not picking up on the other side.
No.
You think I'm just hanging out all day? You think I have nothing to do?
Just waiting for
you to press that button?
Uh-huh.
No chance.
Yeah. We're busy.
But I will listen to it. I will listen to it.
We will listen to it, and there's a very real possibility, if not likelihood, that we'll use it on the show.
Yeah, think about like when you guys text in and we read your text aloud, and there's many a times, and Hudson does this a lot with me too, where you tell him something or you text him something and he misconstrues it.
Yeah.
He puts it out there in a way that you didn't mean for it to be. And so this is a way for you to be able to use our little voice memo thing. There's a voice memo spot.
Yeah.
To be able to get your point across in the way that you want to on whatever topic we're talking about.
And here's the even more obvious reason why you should use it. Because so many people use voice to text anyways.
They do.
And this is voice to text, except better. Because
they won't mess it up.
Yeah, you're not going to get words off. And also we get to hear you, and we want to hear you.
Yeah, and make sure this is the other thing I'll say too. Because a lot of times if you guys listen to the podcast, we talk about things in the future we're going to talk about. Like tomorrow we're going to do Choice Champions.
Right.
We're going to unveil what the Choice Champions are for tomorrow. And then you guys can go ahead right now and get your word in on it, and then we can use it tomorrow. But the important part is it's never one take. For us here, it's always one take, right? And that's why we say things and we sound dumb sometimes.
That's right.
For you guys.
Yeah, that's why you do that.
You can record it as many times as you want, so make sure it's clear, concise, and get your point across. We can understand what you're saying. That way we can use it on the show, because if it doesn't make sense or if it doesn't sound really clear, then we can't use it. So make sure you guys do it in the right way that we can actually use it on the show.
Do your best. Test it out. It's the free RadioU app. You'll find it in whatever app store for your phone, and then just use the Talk to Us button. Try it out. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Now, talking to what people have to say and the app, I happened to come across this review for the RadioU app. 4 stars from J Dober 77.
So close to 5.
It's like the best radio station I've ever heard. The app is easy to get around.
Well, then why are we
4 stars?
Why are we 4 stars?
No, I like that. I like that from J Dober 77.
He's not giving us the 5 piece, but
but he's doing that because he's judicious with his ratings. It's not that he doesn't love RadioU. It's just 5 stars.
That's a lot.
He's reserving that.
That means that 4 stars means more.
It means a lot.
I just toss out 5 stars. That's what I do.
A 4-star for him is like a 5-star for everybody else.
Yes, for sure.
So I actually appreciate that because I've been accused sometimes of being a little too favorable, a little pumping up my ratings a little too much.
You're a little bit better now, but
like in food fights and stuff.
In the beginning of food fights, you would just toss out high numbers.
Yeah.
And then it meant nothing.
I could learn a thing or two from J Dober 77. That even if I love something, it might only be 4 out of 5 stars.
No, we'll
even if it's
that.
the best. He literally said the best.
Yeah, because you never know when you're really going to see the best.
Yeah.
And you don't want to touch it at 5 now, and then tomorrow open up an app that's really a 5.
That's even better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. But 4 stars, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
And as far as the app store goes, if I see at least 4 stars, that's good enough for me, anyways.
Oh yeah.
As long as we're not below 4.
I think if you're, 4 means good app. 3 means you're gonna run into some issues.
Probably uninstalled it.
If you're 2,
unless it's really necessary.
If you're 2 or below, you're not even utilizing.
Yeah, you're mad.
You're gonna download it and you're gonna delete it instantly. I think
you're gonna be.
4 stars is good.
Yeah, you're gonna be frustrated with it. All right, thanks for that review from J Dober 77. Feel free to leave reviews, comments, feedback and definitely use that Talk to Us button in the RadioU app. We got a great show for you today. We're just going to let it speak for itself.
Before we go.
Oh, you got something?
Tomorrow's Choice Champions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want to unveil it?
I think we should unveil it so we can give the people an opportunity.
Yes, you're right.
To get their word in if they want to hear themselves tomorrow.
Almost screwed that all up.
That would have been a mistake, a huge mistake. So tomorrow, Choice Champions.
I wish this was like Talk to Us where we could do it over again.
Start
so
over
I didn't
from
make
the top.
that mistake.
Exactly. So tomorrow, Choice Champions, biggest childhood fears.
Ooh.
Give us your top 3. Give us one that we should use or however you want to do it. But we want to hear at least one.
I've got a real good pick that I'm really excited about to make for this.
The biggest childhood fear. So if you guys want to get in on that, the Talk to Us button on our mobile app, you guys can give us, yet again, if you want to give us your top 3 that you would choose or even just one that you really want to hear in here. And then we can use it tomorrow on the show.
Also on the show tomorrow, Social Club Misfits. And that's just tomorrow. Forget about what's today, which is a bunch of good stuff. So.
And then Friday, my birthday.
That's right. And IHOP pancake tacos.
Oh, man, what a week we have left.
Oh, it's all great stuff from here on out. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
You ever found anything fun in your couch cushions?
Maybe like some money, a sock. I found a sock recently.
Oh, that's fun.
Found a sock recently that I've been looking for.
That's exciting.
It's about as fun as it gets for me.
I hope you haven't already thrown out the other sock.
Some loose change.
Yeah, that's
usually in there.
That's the typical thing. I don't even know if I've found anything as exciting as change.
In your couch?
Yeah, it's usually just like crumbs and stuff.
A lot of crumbs.
Yeah, a lot of crumbs and things of that nature. Well, imagine this. Imagine you're digging through the couch cushions and you find a will.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that is what happened to the family of soul singer Aretha Franklin. Are you familiar with Aretha Franklin?
Yes, I am.
She passed away in 2018. Well known for, an illustrious music career, getting started in the 60s. She sang songs like Respect and You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. I can sing them now.
She's referred to as the Queen of Soul.
The Queen of Soul. And after she passed away in 2018, someone was going through her house, a member of her family, in 2019, and found in the couch cushions a crumpled up piece of paper that since that time until now was disputed whether it was actually her will, whether it counts as her will or not. And kind of the whole idea comes down to, would you leave your will crumpled up in a couch? Probably not. It's not where it usually belongs. It's an important document.
Unless it was like in your pocket.
And it fell out.
And it fell out of your pocket.
And you forgot.
And then it slid down the crack.
Uh-huh.
And then people were sitting on the couch and they crumpled it up.
Not realizing.
Maybe at one point in time, it could have been nicely folded.
And maybe at some point. Now, here's where it really got controversial is because this will that they found in the couch cushions, they believe goes back to 2014. It was actually dated 2014. However, and that was the couch cushion one, but the real problem was there was also one that was kept in a locked cabinet that goes back even further to 2010. So then it's like, which one is the real one that you follow?
Well, the one that's updated, I think.
Yeah, the one in the couch cushions was more recent.
The most recent one has to be it, right?
But it wasn't kept under the proper care. You know?
How different was it? Was it very different?
That I don't know. That I don't know how much that changes.
They probably aren't allowed to say that.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But I do know that for 2 of Aretha Franklin's children, it is very exciting. And for one of them, they were fighting for the 2010 cabinet will instead.
Ridiculous.
And it's did not go. It's just been settled. It did not go the way they were hoping, the cabinet team.
Let me think about this too. So if she hadn't wrote a will at all, how does that work? If you don't write a will,
I'm not old enough to think about that.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, do you just with Aretha Franklin's like 3 kids? Would they have got nothing? Would it have been split evenly? How does that work? Because I'm not sure.
Are you thinking of setting up? I'm sure if you go to like LegalZoom.com or something like that, you could probably get started. Get started on that, so you don't run into that similar scenario.
I just want to make sure my dog gets put in the right hands. My dog Jim. So I want to make sure that he's at the right place.
I don't even know. I always thought that a will was much more official and you had to like get lawyers involved and
Which
stuff
would
like
make
that.
sense.
But apparently, I
can
guess
just write it down on a
just
scrap
write it
piece of
and hide
paper.
it in the couch cushions, and that counts. So
I'm writing mine on a Post-it note, I guess.
does that mean if we say something here and it's recorded, it could be our will?
That could be. Would you like to give me anything
No,
right now?
It's a lot of pressure. I'll give you my debt.
No, I don't want that.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Now, our top story today is the new trailer for Wonka, which came out yesterday. Saw a lot of people talking about Timothée Chalamet and his origin story for Willy Wonka. Isaiah, you've seen the trailer. What's your reaction?
I have mixed reviews on it.
Okay.
The first thing I noticed is I think the plot seems like a solid plot for a movie.
Okay.
For like a Willy Wonka origin story.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
The idea is, he's traveled the world, as they allude to in the actual Willy Wonka movie. He's traveled the world, fixing up his chocolate. Now he wants to make it, and he needs a building, and they don't want him to have a building in the town. Yeah.
Yes, he's going to get some other, what seems like big chocolate. Is what he's up against.
Yeah.
And
the big wigs.
They do not like him so much, but the plot seems solid. I think the actual like graphics, the look of the movie seems solid. I will say that in the first one, it was very it seems like a completely different time period.
Yeah, it does.
Because in the first one, at least one with Johnny Depp, it seemed as if everybody was like poor. And this one seems very luxurious.
Yeah.
Like the whole city.
A way different world.
And the second thing I noticed is this is the part that gets me, is I'm not sure if I like Timothée Chalamet as Wonka.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think he's a good actor.
No, love Chalamet.
Yeah, I think he's a good actor, but I think that when I think of Willy Wonka, I think of someone who's kind of like crazy, nice. You know, like if we remember Johnny Depp in the movie, he was a little bit odd. He was a little bit weird in the movie, on par for Johnny Depp. And then you think about Timothée Chalamet, the way that he is portraying him just seems like a nice, sweet kid. Which yet again isn't exactly what I expected.
He's very innocent in this movie.
Yeah, the origin story of Willy Wonka. I wanted to be a little bit weirder.
It's funny that you keep bringing up the Johnny Depp one because I've seen that. It doesn't even register. It was wiped from my brain until you brought it up because I'm just thinking of, and I just recently watched this, the Gene Wilder one from like the 70s or whatever, like the old Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Which I just watched recently. Great movie.
Very good movie. Also did it the same way.
Yeah, but he's also, is more terse with people.
Yes.
And so that is, they don't exactly jive together. A lot of people have been saying this too, that how can you have Timothée Chalamet play Willy Wonka when clearly it would match up visually for Jeremy Allen White. I don't know if you know who that is. The star of The Bear. You look him up, he looks exactly like Gene Wilder, and everybody says that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But granted, I like him. I also like Timothée Chalamet. I don't know if I want either of them to be attached to this. I don't have a lot of high hopes for it after watching the trailer. I'm not big on these unnecessary origin stories anyways. I think part of the fun of Willy Wonka is the mystery of like where this guy came from. And so we're taking that away. I also think it's funny. This was a good quote, is that Leonardo DiCaprio told Timothée Chalamet no superhero movies and no hard drugs. And he wound up doing arguably something worse than both.
Yeah.
With Wonka. Now, what did you think? The last thing was, what did you think of Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa at the end?
It seems odd.
I feel like a lot of people are not liking that, and I have mixed feelings because that was kind of the part I liked the most.
Are you serious? That's the part you like the most?
Yeah, because I
think it seems odd.
The rest of the movie seems too earnest, and that at least seemed funny to me.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Overall, I think it looks like it could be really good. But it does not depict Willy Wonka in the way that I thought it would.
Yeah, but it's not. The trailer didn't win me over. However, I am a big Chalamet guy. It's got a good cast outside of that. The director of Paddington directed it, so there's some goodwill there. So maybe it's still a maybe.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
How much cheese is too much cheese on a cheeseburger? Is 20 slices too many?
That's way too many.
Way too many? Where do you draw the line?
I don't think you're using more than 2.
2 is the max?
2 is about right.
What if
I think 2's premier.
What if I told you there was no burger involved and it's just all cheese?
Oh, so you mean a grilled cheese?
Kind of. But that's not what they're called. I mean, still 20 slices of cheese on a grilled cheese would be too many.
Well, it depends if it's all melted.
Here I have, this is something you can actually purchase if you're in Thailand and you go to a Burger King. They are now selling what they call the real cheeseburger, which is a sesame seed bun with 20 slices of cheese slammed between them. And now there's the press photo, which is one thing, but then there's like actual pictures that people have taken. And the cheese, when you have 20 slices of cheese, it's all in various states of melt. You know, some of them look like they've hardly melted at all, where some, it almost looks like they poured a cheese sauce onto the top of it.
Yep.
Would you even dare try something such as this?
It depends on the cheese.
The
flavor.
It seems American. I mean, it seems like whatever cheese you would get on a regular Burger King burger, which I believe is American. And
yeah, but when I think about the cheese that's on a Burger King burger, I feel like that would not be good on a grilled cheese. It wouldn't be my premier cheese if I had to choose one.
And if it was just between 2 burger buns and not on grilled cheese bread that's all
crispy.
Yeah, crispy and meant to be that way.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is if it's not like crisp, if it's not crispened up. If it's real soft like that, I'm not going to like that either.
I don't even know how they go about preparing this. Well, eating it, I think my mouth is big enough for 20 slices of cheese, but I just don't know how they make it, because you can't just put the cheese on the flat top, right?
No.
On the char broiler, it would run down. So how are they even melting this cheese?
In the microwave, Hudson.
Oh no.
That's where they're melting it, in the microwave.
All right, I'm out when you put it that way.
The only way.
You also think about this. If you were to go to, like, you could recreate this in some way or another. If you were to go to the grocery store and buy a block of Kraft singles, but even then, typically those come in packs of like 16. So you'd have to buy a second one. I guess you could get a 24 pack. But think about eating even 16. Just picture yourself going to the grocery store, buying an entire pack of Kraft singles and eating the whole thing all at once in a sandwich. That's maniacal behavior. And this is something they're serving up at Burger King in Thailand.
See, these are the kind of things that, like, in my mind, I'm like, at some point, like, up at Burger King's headquarters in Thailand, somebody walked in and pitched this idea. And that person in my mind, I'm like, really? How'd you even bring up the confidence to toss something out like this?
Yeah.
Like, the pitch meeting for this, like, what do you walk in and say? Yeah, I have a new idea for a burger. Yes, sir, I do. You guys ready? 40 pieces of cheese. We cut out the hamburger altogether.
Yeah.
It's just a cheeseburger, the ultimate cheeseburger. And everyone in the room said, you know what? Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, what was that meeting?
What's going on? What could it hurt?
Yeah,
I imagine somebody saying, how would you prepare it? He said, I haven't thought that far ahead, but let's just do it anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah. But and even they say, right, like, all publicity is good publicity. I think doing off the wall stuff just to get to remind people that Burger King is out there, good idea. But this feels wasteful.
This is super wasteful.
Yeah, you're putting an entire block of cheese on each sandwich for the people that come in and do it for TikTok. That's wasteful.
I wouldn't call it the ultimate cheeseburger. I'd call it the microwave cheese sandwich.
Yeah, a lot less appetizing that way.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
Now, this is crazy. You don't realize this, but if you're in the dating game right now, you're probably looking for somebody that looks like you.
Seems odd.
It does, but it's science. It's just been proven. A new study has just been published that showed, this is from the University of Queensland in Australia. They had people, there's a couple different ways they did. They had people rate like attractiveness and a few other things of a bunch of different pictures of other people. And they had this whole group of people do this. And what they found was people who had similar facial features rated each other more attractive on average. You are more likely to find somebody attractive that had similar facial features to your own self.
Do you think that's because we look at ourselves in the mirror every day and that's what we're used to, or what?
That's kind of what they theorized, is that they thought that seeing somebody that looks similar to you, you don't even realize it, but it could bring some sense of kinship. Again, like, what do you call it?
Relatability?
Subconsciously, you have like a level of kinship with this person because you think they look similar to you. Also, would cause you to feel comfort, familiarity, and belonging with somebody else. Again, if they tend to look like you, this is all stuff you don't even realize, but that's kind of what's going on beneath the surface on a subconscious level.
Well, I think it makes sense, too, because you spend so much time trying to convince yourself that you are attractive that when you finally find somebody that looks like you, you're like, oh, my gosh, they must be attractive.
I guess.
They look just like me.
It validates your own appearance in a way.
Yes.
I guess that could make sense. No, I think I'll say for me personally, I think that this makes a lot of sense because...
You and your wife look similar? Is that what you're saying?
When I was dating and trying to find, like when I found my wife, I was conventionally attractive, and so I was looking for somebody else conventionally attractive.
They look just like you.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Interesting. Yeah, that's not my go-to thing. Is trying to find somebody that looks like me. I don't think that anybody that I've hung out with has ever looked like me.
You don't think so?
I mean, maybe we have similar features, probably.
You might not have realized.
I probably didn't realize. I feel like the type that I usually go after is similar to my look, I guess. Like dark features and whatnot.
Yeah.
Dark hair,
big brown eyes, a prominent brow.
That is my go-to.
Yeah.
The good old prominent brow.
Yeah, that's
the first thing I look for.
You're trying to find?
That's the first thing I look for.
Yeah, real white teeth, real white straight teeth.
That's nice teeth.
That's who you got to find. It doesn't say anything about the success of these relationships. Like if you find somebody who looks like you, it doesn't mean that it's going to be successful, but it means that's what you're subconsciously looking for, evidently.
Do you think it's weird when you see a couple together and they look like each other, though?
Yeah. It's
an odd feeling.
It's confusing.
Give you weird vibes.
Some people, there's been studies that contradict each other saying that if you are together with somebody for a long time, you eventually look like one another.
Become one another?
Yeah.
That makes sense, I think.
But
because your wife ends up dressing you and she ends up taking care of you. And so at the end of the day, she's going to make you look however she wants to look.
And your lifestyle, as in like just the life you live, the habits you have, stuff like that, the things you do affects your look. So obviously you and your partner likely to have similar lifestyles. And over time, that it converges into you and your significant other.
So if you see somebody walking around that looks like you, that means that's your match. That's the one.
Get down on one knee right there.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Can I set you up with somebody?
No.
No, you wouldn't do that?
I don't know if I trust your choices.
You don't think so?
I don't know if you know my type, really.
Well, what if I told you there could be some money in it for you, though?
How much money are we talking? I love some money.
It's $5,000 total. I don't know how you would think would be fair to split it.
Well, it seems as if I'm the one having to do all the work.
Well, I found you, and I found this woman who's looking for somebody to marry. You have to marry her.
Oh, then I'm getting all of that.
You're getting all $5,000.
If I'm marrying her, yes.
Well, then the offer's off the table.
Okay, fine. Then I'm out.
It is an actual option though for people out there. I don't know if you've seen this woman going around on TikTok. Her name is Eve. She's 35 years old. Is that too old for you?
No,
not necessarily. She is a corporate litigation attorney. In other words, loaded. And
I like it.
She has put out an offer on TikTok, $5,000 finder's fee for somebody that can help her find him, a man to marry.
See, but this is so odd though, because how do you decide? You know, like when do you get that 5,000? How long does it take for me to prove myself?
When you get married.
Like, so literally,
She says,
then she'll come back and she'll circle back to you.
Yeah.
A couple of years later, she's like, hey, it worked out.
It's going to be.
Here's your 5K.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll remember you. It'd be tough. Think about this. You think she's going to remember? I guess if it's like the way you met with your special someone, you'd probably remember that, oh, yeah, I got to hook up Hudson with the $5,000 I owe him because he set me up with this guy. But at the same time, like on your, what do you send a Venmo request for $5,000 on the wedding day? Like, how do you do that?
And I feel like at the same time, if she's willing to toss 5K just to anybody who can find her a husband, she is just tossing around money.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, 5K for that?
Yeah.
Sounds grand.
But it is an option out there. She, since putting this out on TikTok, she did this back last month. She's gotten over 556,000 views on that TikTok and about 25 introductions to potential suitors.
Seems low. Seems like a low number, to be honest.
Yeah, a low percentage.
Like 25, that's it?
Yeah, but she says she has not gone on any dates with these guys yet, and so the offer still stands. She says the reason she's doing this, she's 35, right? So, you know, if you're, especially I think for a woman, you probably at that time, it's like, if I'm going to get married, I might as well. Like, I'm running out of time, like childbearing time anyways. And so I don't know if that's on her plate or not, but either way, she's sick of being single. She wants to find the man that she can spend the rest of her life with. But she says ever since COVID, the way that she's experiencing dating culture has changed. And so she's just like, let me skip out on the apps and everything and let me try something a little different. I'm willing to offer $5,000 to anybody online who can set me up with the man of my dreams.
Let me try something different. How about bribery?
Yeah.
Can I bribe someone into finding me someone?
I just think maybe adding up money to the equation might not lead to the types of matches you're hoping for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
The people that are willing to set you up might not have your best interest in mind. But I mean, then again, you've got to get all the way to marriage to get this money. So
that's true.
You got to set her up with somebody good. How would you feel? Like, would you be open to if somebody set you up with somebody else, especially if there was money involved?
I'd be open to someone setting me up with someone else.
It doesn't depend who it is, though.
But it depends if they're like someone that I think I'm compatible with.
If your mom set you up with somebody?
No.
If your roommate set you up with somebody?
My mom always tries to set me up with people, and it's never people that I would ever want. She's like, I found a new girl for you. And then it's never. I know right away it's going to be a no.
It's going to.
Right off the rip.
If your mom likes her, it's a no.
She's going to say, the first thing she's going to say is, she's really nice. And I'm going to go, no, I already know. No. There's very few people that you can trust to set you up with somebody.
Niceness isn't important to you?
It's not that it's not important to me, but if that's what you're leading off with, I'm never convinced off that.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
What's something that's hard for you to resist when you see it on a restaurant menu? Which is definitely different than favorite foods, right?
Very different.
Because your favorite foods could be something you cook, something you know, like that's readily available. Maybe pizza's your favorite food, but you don't always order pizza if you see it on a menu somewhere.
That is so true.
I feel like this is more specific stuff that maybe is, at least in my mind, it's stuff you see less often at restaurants, but then you see it, you're like, well, I don't get this very often, or I have to know how they do it here, like that kind of thing.
And I have a couple of different ones for this.
Okay.
Answer-wise. The first thing that comes to mind is just a myriad of appetizers.
Okay.
I love appetizers. There's a lot of different ones that if I see it and we're considering appetizers, right away they jump off the page of me. Mm-hmm. That's any form of mac and cheese bite, fried pickles, any kind of soft pretzel with nacho cheese. Those things all jump off the page of me off the rip. If I'm going with an entree, there's only one thing that if I see it on the menu, it's hard for me to resist, usually, and that's fish and chips.
Really?
I love fish and chips at a restaurant.
Is good.
And if I see it on a menu, it's one of my absolute go-tos. I don't know why, especially in the summertime.
Yeah.
As of late, probably the last 5 times I've went out to an actual restaurant, I bet 3 of those 5 times I've got fish and chips.
Interesting.
I know, isn't that wild?
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I know, and the other one too is if I'm looking at burgers, if I see pulled pork on a burger, whether it's a hamburger or a pulled pork sandwich, that's another one that's hard for me to resist. I go with it a majority of the time.
Now the restaurants know how to get you the pulled pork burger. And
with some onion strings. You throw some onion strings on there.
Crispy onions.
Don't even play with me.
If there's crispy onions involved, yeah, you might have to sign me up. See, I wasn't thinking the fish and chips was not something that dawned on me but it did make me realize something else. Another thing that might make a hard to resist menu item, hard not to order, is something that you just know is hard to mess up. And fish and chips,
it always hits.
Yeah, it's rare that you get a real bad fish and chips from a restaurant. So that's a good answer. Well, we're getting people texting in. Text in yours, 8772 RadioU. Let us know a menu item that is just hard to say no to at a restaurant. We'll read some of those next.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
The question is, what is a menu item that is just hard to resist when you see it on the menu at a restaurant? Isaiah kicking around basically all of the appetizers, which must make
Not all of them.
It must make it difficult for you. You just get the sampler every time?
I don't usually lean sampler. I lean against sampler. Because usually the sampler has like one or two things that I don't want.
Yeah, that's always true, isn't it?
And so I like to just pick them out and get a couple of them. Sometimes when I go out to eat, I'll just do apps, which is the best kind of dinner.
Yeah.
Like if you go out with like a friend or something and you guys just do appetizers, then that's going to be, you may not be like as full as you might be if you did an entree, but you're going to leave
healthy.
But you're going to leave so much happier.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get to have some whatever it is, whether it's fried pickles, mac and cheese bites, mozzarella sticks, like all those things, they just make you happy to eat.
It's odd that you say that because almost all of the texts coming in here I'm seeing are for what I would consider appetizers. For example, AJ says spinach artichoke dip.
His number one.
That's his
whenever
number
he sees
one.
It. That's a wild number one, AJ.
Yeah.
Spinach artichoke dip. It's always on the menu, and my family gets it from time to time. It's never my go-to, but my mom likes it a lot, so I can see maybe you liking that, I guess.
That's it's not for everybody, but it is for AJ. Kendrick says mozzarella sticks. That's one I was going to mention, but I actually think that's one. The best mozzarella stick is better than almost any food item. But
really?
I mean, yeah.
But what about a bad mozz stick?
But a bad mozz stick is bad.
It's bad, isn't it?
It's real sad. So,
and I think the sauce, there's a lot of things that go with the sauce
variations
there, too.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're getting like a marinara that goes along with it, you can get a good marinara that's very good. Or a bad marinara is just trash. It's so bad.
But the allure of possibly getting if it's a place you've never gotten mozzarella sticks, the allure of, what if these are like real good?
What if these are really good ones?
It is hard to say no.
Fair.
Justin says fried calamari, which is definitely an appetizer and definitely not for everybody, but it is for Justin. Also, crab rangoon.
Ooh, we love some crab rangoon.
Oh, we're a big crab rangoon show here on the Riot. Paul says dumpster fries with just everything on it. And
I love dumpster fries. I love dumpster fries.
Jordan also got in through the RadioU app with the Talk to Us feature right on the front page. He says chili cheese fries every time.
I'm with chili cheese fries too.
Yeah, I love that. So and then Kim agreeing with you on the fish and chips. Also bringing up chicken and waffles.
Oh, chicken and waffles. That's an interesting one.
That's a great one. Because you can get a lot of variation with that, too. Sometimes they're spicy. Sometimes, just way different. But it's almost always good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, yet again, fish and chips, obviously, I'm with it. And then chicken and waffles, I can get down with that.
I don't know if I don't know what... Oh, I know what mine would be. This is obvious. It's also an appetizer. Poutine.
Poutine?
See, that counts as, it's a rare thing for me to see. I guess if I was in Canada, I'd see it all the time. And so maybe it wouldn't be the same. But for me here... If I see poutine, it's so hard to say no because it's so rare and it's so good.
Yeah, I would say I don't disagree. It wouldn't be something that I feel like I have to get. But D, here's a good one. D says chips and salsa, chips and queso, or chips and guacamole. Now, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
If I'm at a Mexican restaurant, there is no chance I'm not getting chips and queso.
Yeah. Well,
I have to get it.
If I'm at a Mexican restaurant, I'm banging my fist on the table saying, I want the chips for free at the beginning of the meal.
Yeah, and then you order the queso or guacamole.
Yeah.
I'm with both of those.
Yeah.
I'm getting one of those for sure.
Regina also in on the crab rangoon. She says, oh my gosh, yes, crab rangoon.
Made her whole morning.
Yeah.
Made her entire morning.
And then this is great. We don't have a name for this person, but they texted in, Blackened alligator bites.
First text. That's a wild first text.
Yeah. I've never had alligator. I'd like to try it. And I imagine that unless you live in like Louisiana, if you see alligator on the menu and you like it, you got to get it because it's pretty rare.
Yeah, you're not seeing that at every restaurant you go to.
No,
that's a special Asian thing.
That's rare. I look forward to trying alligator one day and reporting back because evidently it's good according to at least one person.
I like it. Some foods that you can't resist if you see it on a menu, and we get a lot of good texts there.
Yeah.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Wednesday is in honor of Amazon Prime Day. Would you rather only be able to shop online or only be able to shop in person? And we're getting a lot of good responses here. Jordan let us know that he would definitely go grocery store in-person grocery store shopping every time. And a lot of people focusing on the groceries, which we did bring up, but it's not just for groceries, right? You're thinking groceries, it's all your clothes. It's, we mentioned cars. I mean, you got to take everything into account, but a lot of people focusing on the grocery side of things. Now, Jeremy texted in. He said he definitely shop in store because he feels like he spends more money online. Like you have a tendency to overspend.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, that is a good, but
I didn't really consider that.
See, for me,
spending habits.
It's that can go either way because if I'm buying groceries, I'm more likely to spend more money if I'm shopping in person. But if I'm going like clothes shopping, I'm definitely going to spend more online.
Way more.
Every single time. D says, this is good, that in a small town at this day and age, you can't really have an either or because there's some certain things in a small town that would be so far away for you to go in person, you wouldn't be able to ever have them if you only shopped online. But then
True.
in person, but then if you did only online, then like groceries might not, they won't deliver to your house, for example.
That's true.
So real tough spot there.
D must live far out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Susanna says in-store for sure. And Becca also going with in-store because then you actually get to see people.
Ooh, I like that one. She said the insides of a 9-year-old boy. In person, you can't make friends in the store if you shop online. That's good insight.
That's right. We talked recently about how it's important to get out and live in like walkable cities where you actually see people in person because if you just do everything from home, you don't have human interaction, and that's important. So have you been swayed one way or the other? You made up your mind?
It's really tough. I've been back and forth this whole break, trying to figure out what I'm going to lean towards. I think I lean towards in-store.
You do, huh?
Because so much of my happiness on a week-to-week basis comes from me being at the grocery store. I love just middling the aisles.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I will spend, like the other day, I went to the grocery store. I spent like an hour there. I ended up with like $40 worth. I got like 6 different items, but I walked the store probably 3 times. I love just kind of milling around, seeing what's in there. I love it. I'm a big in-person, like, clothes shopper.
Yeah.
I don't like to get clothes online because I don't know how they're going to fit me.
Yes,
I like going somewhere, trying it on in the little rooms they have in there, and being able to tell, okay, this is exactly how it's going to look on me. I'm going to buy this. I don't really buy much clothes online at all.
Oh, really?
No, like never, because I hate returning things online.
Yeah.
I hate
that's tough.
I would rather throw it away than return it. Like, there's no way I'm mailing it back. I hate mailing anything in the mail anyway. There's no way, and so I hate returning it.
Are you like this, that if you ever have to do a return online, like for Amazon, what do? You take it to Kohl's. You take it somewhere in person. You even do your returns in person.
In person.
So,
I'm not mailing it through the mailbox. No chance.
I'm kind of surprised you chose in person, but it is tough, but I'm definitely in person too. See, I do a lot more clothes shopping online, and my wardrobe would be, I'd say, vastly different because my choices would be reduced if I wasn't able to shop online for clothes and stuff like that.
You wouldn't be able to get all the bougie things that you get. Like, where are you going to find collared shirts like the one you wear?
Bougie and unique items. So that would definitely change. But however, I mean, you're right. Trying on things would be different. And I can't give up grocery store shopping in person. I know some people gravitated towards you order online and they just pop it in the back of your trunk. I hate that. I would never do that. Not in a million years. That's dumb. That's foolishness to me. It's folly. So I'm definitely in person as well, but it is a close call. It'd be tough to give up.
Yeah, I
Tough to give
agree.
up the
Yeah, for me,
online.
I like literally the grocery store alone, just the happiness I get from just making my way down the aisles, the spice aisle, the chip aisle, any of the aisles. You never know what you want until you see it.
Yeah.
And so I like to go in there, no plan, and just see what I come out with.
And Emily calls what you're doing. She texted and she said she liked to dilly-dally.
Oh, I
at the
love
store.
dilly-dallying. Dilly-dallying, hot dog, and milling around. Those are my favorites.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
Has this ever happened to you? You've been using a Netflix account. You're sharing it with, let's say, somebody you were going out with. And eventually the relationship ends and you kept on using it and kept on using it. But now Netflix's password sharing crackdown has come into effect, and maybe you might be in limbo. You might be in danger of losing your watch history and your lists and everything.
Mine's gone.
It's gone, huh?
Mine is long gone,
It's
buddy.
history.
History.
It really is history. It's actually becoming a little easier for you to save that. Previously, Netflix would let you transfer a profile off of an account, but only to a new account. So if you wanted to start anew and pay full price for Netflix, you could, and you could save your, your spot in Luther or whatever. Now, Netflix has updated the profile transfer tool so you can transfer from one ex's profile to another.
So if you have a new girlfriend who, let's say, lives in the house with you, and she already has Netflix.
Or maybe your roommate started paying for Netflix or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you could just transfer to that one.
Transfer off of the ex's account, now you can transfer it into a new somebody's account without starting completely from the ground up and paying full price for an account.
See, this is another example of the many reasons why I say it's best if you always end on good terms. You don't have to go with the whole unfollowing thing, being crazy after you end it all. Because I'll tell you this much. If you and your ex are on good terms, you think she's going to let you transfer?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of tools Netflix has.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. You're going to text her and be like, hey, can I transfer my Netflix profile to my new girlfriend's? You're not getting that, buddy.
Yeah.
That's not happening. You got to be real nice when you
She's
get that
not
exit
letting
plan.
you come over to get all your clothes and stuff that she took. Forget about the Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. If you roll up to your old house and all of your clothes are in the front yard, I'm gonna tell you this right now: you're not getting your Netflix profile transferred. Doesn't matter if your jeans and your shirts are in the front yard, you're not getting that. That's why you have to make sure if you're the one who gets broken up with, or if you do the breaking up, or even if it's mutual, that you always end on good terms. Because this is another reason why you want to be able to find the last spot you were watching a show in. You're gonna want that transfer.
Yeah, can you imagine being who knows how many seasons into Grey's Anatomy and then trying to figure out where you were on
What
a
you've
brand
watched.
new profile? Nobody wants to deal with that.
And for every show, if you're not sure if you've even seen it, a movie you haven't seen, or if you've seen
all the stuff you were planning on watching eventually
your
one
watch
day,
list,
maybe.
you lose that whole watch list.
You can't lose all that.
No, I would say this is yet again. We tell you, be nice.
Yeah.
Just be a good person when it all ends.
Ideally, end the relationship on good terms. Another option, stay in an unhappy relationship just so you don't lose your Netflix account, or transfer it out before it's over.
That's what I was going to say.
Before you break up.
Before you end it, you go ahead and do the transfer then.
Yeah.
Do it then. That's a good idea.
The preemptive transfer.
I would say that's a great idea.
See, this doesn't even have, with the password sharing crackdown, this doesn't have to be even a breakup. This could just be you guys aren't living together.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got to prepare. So don't take it too seriously if you see your significant other transferring their profile off. They might just be doing that preemptively because they know the password sharing crackdown might come for your account anytime now.
Or it means it's over.
It's over.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.